Okay, y'all. So, hi, welcome to Mom Moments. So, these are times where I just have to talk about like moments in my mommyhood where I'm just have to vent and like either say I'm happy or sad or whatever. And in this case, I'm super happy with my outcome and my like my how just good of a parenting job I feel like I did. I give myself a pat on the back. Sometimes you have moments where you're like, you know what, you probably shouldn't have did that. And sometimes you have moments like, you know what, that is probably one of the best parenting, jujitsu moves that people I've ever seen. So today, without putting people out there, I'm going to be very vague. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I have to be vague and to keep all information and things kind of uh, discreet and personal. Keep the privacy private, right? Pause. So, all right. Today, my son was supposed to do something, and we had an agreement that he was supposed to do it. And I was very passionate about this agreement that we had made for him. And it was an exchange. So, in order for this to this happen, this to this happen, okay? I really felt like I wanted him to do this thing, but because he didn't, we said, okay, we're gonna do an exchange, and you must show up. You know what I mean? You must entertain this idea, and he didn't do it. Come to find out, it was, a slight error on his behalf, human mistake, right? So I have to be like, the intent was all there, but it was a misalignment due to different variables, let's just say. Different things like, location, navigation, transportation, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Logistics, if you will. And so they weren't executed. It was the agreement was not executed, and I feel as if I could have went off on him and just snatched the rug right out from under him and said, "Okay, instant discipline now." Stop playing with her. And in reality, like, I didn't do that. I was cool, I was calm, and I was collected. I was angry. Don't be misunderstood. I was angry, but I wasn't like, and I wasn't like, I definitely don't ever like really just cuss him out. I cuss at him. I will. I'll say things like curse words, but I don't think I did that this time. I was trying to be very mindful to not do that because I wanted the message to come across clear of where my anger was coming from. So I had to let him know that first he started talking back. Whoa, wait a minute. Not you wrong and you talking back, sir. Let's nip that in the bud first and foremost. Let's not do that because then we're setting ourselves further steps back in the process of success. You're going backwards, you're backpedaling, buddy. You're digging deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, stop it. Just it's funny because he got friends in the background talking about, I'm sure, talking about because they always have to remind him. I, you know, and so he gets it honest. I'll say it. Um, and so he starts yapping back, and I have to like nip that in the bud and say, you can't, you have no space for yapping back, yap back, no space for yap back. So it was really, he separated himself, he sat down, and then he tried to be funny. And it was like, no, we're not gonna try to be funny. Because one thing I notice about these teens, and it's just generation in age, like these younger kids, is literal and figurative are like a loose boundary in their vocabulary. So when it's convenient, they'll be literal, and when it's convenient, they'll be figurative. Oh, it was just a joke, or passive aggressive, is what I like to call it. Forgive me if there's an exact term and I'm missing it, but they tend to overlap a lot. So I just calls it what I calls it. Okay. But they have this ability to walk this blurred line of, oh, well, I don't think that was funny, acting funny. And it was like, wait a minute. So you don't think you sassing back, or you don't think you slamming that door, or you don't think it's not all things he did, but you don't think you slamming that door, or you don't think you throwing down that item, or slamming down, you know what I'm saying? Your bag on the floor, kicking your shoes off and letting fly everywhere. Like, you don't think that's behavior that shows me body language, that shows me you're upset, and you're doing it subconsciously because you know you're doing it, but you're doing it because you think I'm not going, it's not an actual word I can call you on. Incorrecto. Let me be clear. I can cause you on it. I can cause you on it, and I can call it something. Okay. That is bad body language. You know what I'm saying? It's probably, there's probably a better term. I'll get one of my therapist friends to come on and we'll talk about it. Like the bad body language. That's definitely something I can identify and communicate with you, sir, ma'am. Okay. That's what I call, if it's whether it's a boy or girl, sir, ma'am. That's what I call it. So if you want to be that person, I can call you out, and don't think that that won't be the situation. And we can clarify. So then the body language starts acting out. And I'm like, okay, let's strike two. Let's nip this in the bud. Okay, what we're not gonna do is have all this behaviors. It's going to act like you're not doing anything wrong, and you're micro intentionally being disrespectful, micro disrespectful, if you will. So let's talk about it, or macro disrespectful, if you will. So let's talk about it. And I said, listen here, you're wrong. There's nothing you can say or do that it can explain why this couldn't have been situated, because you're wrong. You're not prioritizing. You're not doing time management. I need you to do better if you want the freedoms that you are enjoying, the privileges that you're getting, the joys of spending the weekend at your homeboy's house when you got things to do, the joys of sleeping in at night when you got to wake up at the butt crackiest of dawn. Like, those are things. Forgetting your shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that you do that show that you're actually moving irresponsibly, and I'm not going to tolerate them in order for you to have the privileges that you have. You know what I'm saying? Forgetting your Jordans. You ain't got to have Jordans. You can have regular shoes. You know what I'm saying? If they're your only pair of shoes, I bet you don't forget those. Okay, because baby, let me tell you something. I'm not into depriving children. I'm not into it. But I do say, like, the things that these children get, is particularly my son specifically, I'm talking about me and mine, the thing that that child gets, the money spent on this child's gear and clothes and fun and blah, 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 living the good life like kids should live, they are not obligated to live that. That is what society has built these children to make, to have them live, in order to think that they're not normal. You know what I mean? In order for them to feel normal, they have to be living to these expectations. And in reality, we all know when you're an adult, these are privileges. These are privileges. If you're a working class adult, you know these are privileges. Okay? We don't get to do this. You got to pay to have all them expensive clothes. You got to pay and work really hard and save, typically, to have these things. Baby boy, all you really should be getting is just like t-shirts, sweatshirts when you're cold, AC, AC when it's hot, uh, shoes, good shoes and socks. A good pair of Nikes is cool. Adidas, a good pair of Adidas, a good pair of New Balances are good. Don't be confused. If the light up shoes were cute when you were little, a little New Balance or some Pumas and Ross will do you just fine. Okay. So let's be honest here. At the end of the day, I really think that and let me circle back to why I'm proud of myself. At the end of the day, I really think that the conversation could have went left and it actually went right because I didn't yell at him. I had to like I was taken aback quite a few times. I probably scoffed quite a few times, but at the end of the day, baby, I was very calm and I was like, "Sir, that's not it. I'm angry. My voice was raised for sure. I'm angry. I'm yelling because you don't see. You got to have, as I say with my son, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the balance of freedom with responsibility. You don't get the freedom without the responsibility. That's just not how my son is raised. You know what I mean? With, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You have to be able to, in order to be a leader in this world, you got to know in order to do these things. Freedom comes responsibility. We want to work all the time and do all this. Well, you got the responsibilities of doing this, that, and the other. Whether it be running a company, whether it be running a running fixing some food for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You want to live by yourself? Guess what? You're going to have to feed yourself. And guess what? With that freedom comes responsibility. You want to live by yourself, you got to feed yourself. You got to spend money on food. You got to cook for yourself typically because guess what? Eating out's expensive. So you got to learn how to cook. You got to be able to buy pans. You got to be able to buy forks and spoons, and not just the plastic ones, the washable ones that you put in the dishwasher or you hand wash in the sink. Because you know what? You got to reuse your utensils because why waste money on plastics? I do buy plastics. It's cool. No judgments. Just saying, if you're being a practical economist and consumer in this world, so not everything's going to be able to be disposable because it's a constant expense if it's disposable. We all as parents know this. I'm explaining this to my kids, just so you know. That's how it works. And that's how it works in the real world, y'all. And it sounds like, oh, okay, well, duh. And it's like, no, 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 no. It is duh. It's because it's obvious, right? You got to work, you got to do. But when you think about that every single time you wake up in the morning, you got to wake up on time and you got to be on time to work. You got to sit in traffic and you realize I don't like doing this because that's what it comes to. The responsibility turns out to be something you don't want to do, but you got to do it anyway. Kicker, got to do it anyway. So that becomes the hard part of adulting, waking up, doing it daily, day in, day out, for however long God blesses you to live, inshallah. You know what I mean? However long. So it becomes a bit tedious and a bit annoying, and it's not something that you always want to do constantly. So I just really try to explain to him, bringing it back to my son. I really try to explain to him that this is a responsibility. You can't, not only did you fail the responsibility, but you failed me in our agreement. So now we have two failed responsibilities. And now that's with me. Now you have a situation with whatever else is going on with that situation. I can't speak to it, but I know that's probably a situation. And at this point, I have to move how I decide to move going forward. I'm not going to kick you in your butt. I'm not going to pull the rug out from under you. I'm going to move how I choose to move and what's best for me because you now have not been able to prioritize. I'm not going to feel obligated as your mom to put things as a priority. To put things as a priority if you don't. And as moms, I felt a weight relieved because listen, baby, if you don't want these priorities, then you don't want the freedom. Sit your butt at the house, sit in the room, goo goo gaga, and be a baby. Because I baby you. You gotta watch movies with me all day. Teenagers hate that. Well, mine does. Watch movies with me all day. Uh um Clean up unnecessary things just because you just sitting around the house. I'm gonna make you work somewhere. Make you learn how to cook way more than you are, sir. Like, because he gets away a lot because he's got late basketball practice. But that's not in the way. So guess what? You get time to cook. You get time to clean more. You get time to learn how to be a man of the house, since you now want to not be a man with a plan and a career and things like that. And we'll just rearrange your plan, because at the end of the day, that's the key to adulting. Is if things don't work your way, you have to be able to rearrange your plan, create a plan, but rearrange it so that you can find another way to get around what you need to get around. But at the end of the day, in this household, we're planning, okay? Planting, planting and planning, okay? We're planting seeds of knowledge and we're planning out our future. My baby will not be one of those menses that don't have a plan, can't execute, doesn't know how to be a teamwork, be a team player, or be a leader. He will have teamwork ethics. He will have high ethics in teamwork. He will be able to at least determine what that is and how that is and turn it on when he chooses to turn it on. No, I can't control my son by any means. I ain't worried about that. God's got him and his family's got him and his high got him. So all of that extra don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he's got his head in the right direction. As long as life and God protects him, he will continue pushing forward and to success and whatever that may be to look like for him. However, what I will do is give him the tools. And today, he is going to really get to see when life decisions play out. Listen, opportunities will be missed. Opportunities will be missed when you don't prioritize your goals. And that's the lesson of the day. And that's the lesson that I gave him. And I'm super proud of, because at the end of the day, I want him to learn these lessons in my household. Make these decisions in my household so I can, excuse, get him closer to me to have these conversations. You're right here. Come on. Let me have a talk with you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Good talk. Because if you're way over there in another household, in another zip code, and wherever, because you think you're grown and you're ready to move out, and you think you have the fundamental understandings, and baby, you have less. You have you don't even got the done in fundamental. Okay, you ain't even got that. And some people get out the house and they don't know how to pay bills, schedule appointments, keep their stuff on time. They just go uncatered, unmanaged, and uncatered for. Why are you paying for health insurance if you're not scheduling doctor's appointments, boo? Drop the health insurance. Don't drop the health insurance. Obviously, that's the better choice. And make your appointments. Be a responsible adult. Because then you walk around, something happens to you, and you need insurance. And guess what? You come out with $100,000 doctor bill. Hello. And you don't know how to pay it. If it even gets that high, if you get seen, because you're gonna get the minimal treatment, they gonna put a band-aid on your broken bone and be like, okay, bye, that's all we can do for you. Have a good time. Hope you're okay. That's all they're gonna do. So at the end of the day, what you have to do is be able to be responsible, to be able to take care of yourself, because nobody's gonna do it for you. Lesson of the day. Take care of yourself, because nobody's gonna do it for you. Maybe your mama, but not even then sometimes. Okay? I'm out. But anyway, that's my lesson of the day. I was there as my mom moment. Very happy for it. I taught my son a lesson. We had a good conversation around it. And that was it. Like, it didn't have to be more than that. He's not walking away emotionally traumatized by the stress that I have tried to, that could have been transferred to him, because I'm very mindful of that as well. I don't like to go off on my son, because I do like him to have manageable stress levels when I come around. I don't want it, oh, my mama calling me, it's going to be something stressful. I don't want that to be my son. I want it to be very much, oh, my mama calling me. Girl, what's going on? What you want? You got some tea? Something happened? What happened? Oh, okay, just checking on you. You know what I'm saying? I want that to be the kind of conversation I have with my son as an adult. I want it to be healthy. I want it to be successful. I have a plan for how I want my son, how I want to shape my son to be successful and have healthy conversations with me. And this was just day 7,802. of successful conversations. And I'm happy to have them every single time. And it's a proud mom moment, not a sad mom moment or a bad mom moment. And I just feel good about it. So just thought I'd share. Bye. Also, before I go, let me go ahead and wrap it up. I am your host, Aurora Michonne. Thank you for checking into your mom moment on I Am Co-Parenting podcast. This is going to be a great channel, you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see what's more in store. I have so much going on, so many ideas flowing. It's insane. But just give me time, y'all. I'm going to get it together. And feel free in the meanwhile to watch my other project I have going on, which is Reality Chat Report with my friend Ms. O. We got a lot of things going on, and I'm proud to have you as part of my audience so you can share my journey. Watch me turn into a great podcaster. See you guys. Bye.